The other thing I really do that I think is effective is it comes from that quote, seek first to understand, then to be understood. And too often people go into conversations talking, and really what they should be doing is asking questions. I worked on a piece of legislation around raising the floor for juveniles who were being prosecuted in court. And the first thing I did was go talk to prosecutors across the state about what they felt, because I had heard that they were in opposition. A lot of people hear somebody's in opposition, they say, forget it, that's where that conversation stops. But for me, it was very important to hear why. Were there legitimate concerns that we should be considering? Was there just key aspects that we could tweak to meet those concerns? Is there something that we just didn't even notice? And every single conversation I had, I learned something. And that legislation did grow and got stronger, and I think really became a much better product at the end of all the conversations than at the beginning. And so I think too often people are really just trying to be understood. They're trying to convey their point, when they should be asking the questions and really understanding the other person's perspective. And then the very last piece is certainly making sure that you're not using divisive language. And unfortunately, that's going to be different for whoever you're talking to. And it's making sure that you know who you're talking to, and maybe what is their kind of trigger points. And unfortunately, we, in this, especially in this day and age, carry a lot of weight with the terms we use. And what happens is our message gets lost because somebody gets so hung up on the words being used. And so I really do a lot of trying to make sure to use very direct language, always authentic, but making sure that it is not going to really trigger that person. And, we should be doing that in all aspects of life, right? We're not going to be using curse words when we're talking to children. So there's nothing wrong with kind of filtering how you're saying stuff, as long as you're really getting to the key components of what you're trying to say, which we do a lot around.
I love that. What a great story. And I think just a great lesson from it too, in terms of how we can improve our families, our communities, our democracy is, finding ways to talk better really with one another. And I think that's something that many of us would agree we're not that great on in America right now, and need to be better. But this is one of those topics I think where we can do that. It makes me think of a couple of small things from our work at MacArthur as well. One is we partnered for a few years with the Harris Polling Company, and we polled people across Chicago really to ask what's top of mind for them, and possibilities could have been taxes, or it could have been education or something else. Really clearly across the board, no matter who you were, safety was the number one. And it was just like 1, 2, 3. It was the most important thing. It didn't matter if you're black or white, if you're Latino or you're Asian, if you're wealthy or living in a poor neighborhood. It was just across the board. People wanted safety in their communities. I think that's a really good starting point, as you said.